I'm back! Let's complain about women. For far too long, anime has been under attack from the people who hate it for many different reasons. Some cannot distinguish highly stylized cartoon characters from reality. Other people, like this guy, may try to convince you that anime is demonic, that is a bad evil influence on people and no one should ever watch it. It's not the first time I've heard that. Matt Walsh reminds me of this one Catholic priest who during his sermon tried to convince people that Hello Kitty is the devil. Because Hello Kitty, that means the cat from hell. You think she looks cute? Well, you're wrong, she's a spawn of Satan. He also convinced some guy that Bakugans make his son sick. Burn them all, your kid will feel much better if you do that. Personally, I don't think that's true. Listen, Bakugans, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh cards and other whip shit will not make your kids turn ill. It may make your kid retarded, most certainly it will, but it's not some kind of elemental evil. There was this one time my mother burned a deck of tarot cards, because the priest told her to do that. And as much as I think tarot cards are kind of cool, fighting witchcraft with fire is an old Christian tradition, and I always supported that. But destroying your kids' toys while trying to convince them cartoons they love are demonic, that will only traumatize them. Self-righteous people like that are the reason why I only ever pray at graveyards. But the biggest group of anime haters, and I don't say it lightly because it weighs heavily on me, are the fat women. They are the ones that always cry about fan service and the unrealistic body standards. They just can't stand looking at cute anime waifus. Being fat is not a crime, maybe it should be, but Hawks know most people are not attracted to them, and at the same time they are just too lazy to stop being fat. So all they do is bitch about attractive characters in games, movies and anime. Look at this, you just know a fat woman made this comment. I don't even have to use my scrying ball to see that blue-haired hawk with a nose ring. This is the kind of person who wants to ruin everything for you. The worst part is that all that bitching sometimes works, and it always results in creating horrible abominations, horrors beyond belief, never seen before by mankind. It also results in censorship and intentional mistranslations. Anime was primarily created for the Japanese audience. Trying to force Western neo-feminist sensibilities on it is just not a good idea. But if you want to go as far as to remove all of the fan service or even to make characters less attractive because big booba waifus offend you too much, why don't you go even farther than that? I have a perfect solution to all of these problems, and it is to remove all of the female characters from anime, because if we can't have fan service, they are obsolete. No more boobies. No more panty shots. No more beach episodes. No more waifus. Ha! Gay! Okay, I know this sounds crazy, but hear me out. I'm not saying I hate fan service, I don't. I'm just trying to prove that having women in the story is not only unnecessary, but without a female distraction that's meant to appeal to our primitive lizard brain, the author has no choice but to keep our attention with something else. The almost forgotten art of good storytelling. Let me introduce you to Kaiji Ultimate Survivor, the best anime ever made, and it barely has any woman in it. No significant female presence, few exist in the background, but none of them are an actual character. The titular Kaiji Ito is a broke, gambling-addicted loser in a cool jacket. That's it, that's all you need to know about him. He gets thrown into underground death games run by a bunch of crazy people. Basically Squid Game but better. The author of Squid Game clearly was heavily inspired by Kaiji, and to be honest, I don't even care if you want to copy something. I only care about the outcome. If the copy is good, then now I have two things I like. If it's bad, then that's blasphemy and it should never exist. Both shows share very similar stories, but in Kaiji the goal isn't to kill the players, it's to bankrupt them and trap them into an endless debt cycle that they will never be able to pay off. They become prisoners with jobs, forced to hard labor camps, owned by this fine gentleman. An excessive amount of money always leads to hedonism, it would seem. This is also the reason for the lack of female presence. Because acquiring a free workforce is the goal, women have no value since they are not best suited for hard physical labor. Compare that to Squid Game. Similar premise, indebted losers in deadly games for cash. But it's also wasting our time with pointless romance subplots. Kaiji has no such distractions. The entire tension comes from overcoming impossible obstacles with clever ideas. No waifus, no romance, no fan service, just cool men being stupid, desperate assholes. And it's perfect because of it. The show doesn't glorify gambling, it shows how it destroys you. Kaiji lives up to the ultimate survivor name. We can admire his spirit and cleverness, but he's also self-destructive as hell. Kaiji Ultimate Survivor is one of the most underrated anime of all time. The people who have seen it know of its unchallenged greatness, but I feel that it was never mainstream enough. That's why I'm trying to spread the message. If you like anime and also liked Squid Game, you will absolutely love Kaiji. Season 1 is especially a masterpiece. So maybe you've already noticed that this video was bait. I was just trying to keep your attention for long enough so I could tell you about Kaiji. Did it work? Is anyone even watching this shit? I have no idea. But even if I manage to convince only one person, then I consider it a win, because this anime is worth it. Thank you for watching. I know I didn't do much for the last few months, I just had no heart for it, I guess. That's why I tried to make a more positive video this time. And I will try to do this more. Hopefully I'll be able to post videos more often. Anyway, like, subscribe, and wherever you are, have a great day.